Why is it that the back end of the coffee cup never has the logo? It's always like this. And so if I'm right-handed and I grip a coffee cup in my right hand, you guys can't see the logo on the coffee cup. I have to like flip it around. Drink left-handed. Show you guys coffee mug. It's a little weird, isn't it? There's a phrase that I like to use. It's called "Don't make permanent decisions on temporary emotions," right? Like, so don't. If you talk to a girl and then she's like, "Oh, I gotta think about it," and you'd be like, "Nah, fuck it, tell me now." Don't. You're likely forcing her to make a permanent decision on a temporary emotion, in which that case it's never really gonna go your way. At least that way, if she's thinking about it, don't. The opposite side is you're like on top of her. You got give her space. Give her space. Hey man, it's like that saying goes, you know, like if they love you, let them go, they'll come back, kind of thing. A lot of times they don't come back, man. But hey, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Like it hurts when things like that happen, you know, and you spend time with someone and it's like, you know, like that kind of thing. Like of course it doesn't go over well. Of course the main thing that you're gonna do, or the main like kind of instinct, is to start thinking and overthinking and thinking, and because you kind of get regret, you get mad, and it's kind of like, oh, what can I do to make it better? I wish I didn't do this, I wish I didn't do that. And it's like, at that point, man, everything happens for a reason, right? Overthinking, you know. Just hop on Twitch, hop on some games, chill out, watch some YouTube. Make sure you're getting some good sleep. Get something to eat, take a shower. You know, take care of yourself. That's what's most important. Is taking care of yourself. You can't be good for someone else if you're not taking care of yourself. There's another saying. I know I give a lot of like cliche sayings, but the reason why sayings are cliche, this is what I feel. I feel the reason why sayings are cliche is because they typically, you know, they're typically true, and they you know, they become true because it just, in situations like it's very not predictable, but it's more along the lines of something that it's just it just works, right? It's just try and do your best to you hope for the best and prepare for the worst, right? You hope for the outcome that you want. You hope for the outcome that you're looking for, right? But you prepare for the worst possible outcome. That's the thing where people's mind doesn't necessarily want to go, and they try and avoid that. Like, what's the worst outcome? But if you prepare yourself for the worst outcome, then anything that's better than that is going to be something better than you expected, right? It's kind of like when you go watch you go watch a movie and you feel like, man, I really hope this movie's good. But if you think it to yourself, man, that movie is probably going to be really, really, really shitty, even though I don't want it to be shitty, you might see it and you might be like, hey, that movie wasn't so bad, you know? That movie wasn't so bad. There are no failures, only lessons. Learn, as long as you learn something from it, you can use that, you can grow. There's always growth. Be better than what you were the day before, you know? Always, that's another corny ass phrase I like to try and live by. It's like, always be kind to your future self. Right? Like, and everyone's like, what the fuck does that even mean, dude? It's like, you know, when you're packing something and you know that at some point you're gonna have to unpack it, like, be kind to your future self. Don't just fucking throw shit somewhere when you know later that you're gonna have to pick it up and organize it. Organize it now. Get it out the way. That way later you're gonna be like, damn, I'm so glad I did this. Then it's like, yo, man, past me was smart. What happened to future me? How did I get dumber between now and then? Big brain plays, bro. Man, I'm so glad you said be kind to your future self. Seriously. Be kind to your future self, dude. You needed to hear that for real? Yo, Robbie Rob, I'm telling you, man. I used to say it to people, and they'd be like, what does that mean? I used to say it back in college, because in college, you know, at the end of the year, when you go back, because I went to school in Buffalo and I lived in the city, so when I would fly back or come back to the city, we would leave our stuff over the summer in storage. And obviously, to be able to afford the storage, a few of my friends would get together and we would all like pay for the storage for 2 months and just get like pack everything, right? So they would literally be just throwing all of their shit in storage, and I would be like, nah, dudes, be kind to your future self. And they would look at me like fucking like Kanye looked at Kobe in that commercials, like, what the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant? I was like, guys, be kind to your future self. Watch, set this up, organize it. When we come back in 2 months, we're gonna be like, damn. And now set it up in a way that you could unpack it and put it in the car easy, dude. And that's the thing. Like, we came back two months later, ready to start the semester. Oh, we gotta go pick up our shit from storage. Oh man, let's go. We open up that storage container, everything's fucking organized and set. And they were like, yo, this is actually pretty sweet. And then they would look at me and they'd be like, yo, you were right, bro. I was like, be kind. It's a few things, you know, like if you know, there's a few like little tips and things here and there that kind of work, right? Where it's like one is like, be kind to your future self. Another one is if something is going to take 5 minutes, don't put it off. Just take care of it now. That one I kind of struggle with sometimes too, because it's like, if it only takes 5 minutes, I could easily do it later. But that's the trap. It's a trap. That's the trap you fall into, right? If you take care of it now, you don't even have to worry about it later. So like doing things like setting like meal planning, right? Like if you're trying to get back on track with like nutrition and stuff like that, like meal planning, you know what I mean? Like that's like doing things ahead of time, or if you're not even meal planning, just organizing your stuff out beforehand. Like, I know everybody's pretty much staying home now, but if you are leaving the house, like it's like setting up your clothes the night before, right? Like if you set out your clothes for work the night before, then you could sleep in a little longer, right? Because you don't have to fucking worry about it. You took care of everything. You packed your bag the night before, you know what I mean? Like shit like that, right? Like it's like prepping, you know? It can be a relief to be able to lay back, kick up, and just be like, fuck it, man. Fuck it. You know, like some people can't do that, dude. That's the thing, though. That's a strength in itself. Some people can't do that. If you could get down to business when you need to get down to business, but you also can kick back and just be like, man, fuck it, man. Fuck it. Right? Like, as long as you're not putting yourself in a harmful situation, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know? As much as I say shit, I could definitely be lazy. I'm a huge procrastinator. I try not to, but I am. But it's because I know how good I am with being able to complete things under pressure. Like, I definitely know that that's one of my strengths, and because I know that, I think subconsciously I set myself up for it all the time. The thing that I try to do to not procrastinate is the whole, like, what is it? Is it the 40-20 rule or something like that? But I adjust it because 40-20 is pretty crazy. That's pretty, like, nuts. I do, like, a 30-10 rule. You work hard for, like, 30 minutes, and then you, like, take a 10-minute break, and then continue doing that. But that's a good thing about having an Apple Watch, I can say, because you can just set timers on the fly. Yeah, I mean, you could do it with your phone too, I suppose, but like, you know, like my phone could be on the side. That way I could have it like charging away from me, so it's not a distraction. That could just be like, yeah, I'm gonna do 30 minutes, set a 30-minute timer. Maximum health increased. Gotta go to a hot spring, right? Just make sure you get that hot, steamy water on your cheeks. Makes the cheeks feel all good, you know? It's really hard having mental illness, dealing with a mental illness. And I think the most frustrating part is that people don't necessarily like understand, you know? And it's not their fault that they don't understand, because it's really difficult to understand what someone's dealing with mentally overall, right? And a lot of times people mean well and they want to be helpful, but a majority of the times they just like say things that kind of, well, like will either kind of get you more in a rut, or just like they like I said, they mean well and they want to say the right things, but they just don't necessarily like understand, so they say things that are just like not particularly helpful sometimes too. Like the worst thing that people, I think the worst thing that people say is like, oh man, just don't be sad, just snap out of it. And it's like, it's not exactly how it works, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not exactly how it works. It's also really hard to get people who are like close-minded to it to understand as well, like kind of like what the whole thing is, like dealing with mental illness, dude. Like it's fucking difficult. Oh wait, these are cool people. I was about to murder them. I'm like, oh look, two people conveniently together. I could chain assassinate. They're actually part of the crew. Very sitting to listen to this mental illness talk while I lose my fucking mind over this one little thing in pro skate. Hey man, say what you will about that, but that can actually help. Even if you feel like you're losing your mind about something, it's kind of, excuse me, it's kind of a coping skill, right? It's like a coping skill. Like you're playing something, even if you're frustrated and focused on that one thing, you're getting that frustration and energy out on that medial task that you're doing, that ultimately when you do it you get enjoyment over. So it's a little relief too, and you get that feeling of reward. It's the little things, you know. It's finding the little things. It's being able to recognize that there's those little things that you can do that will like help you.